Dean and Sam Winchester had always known their lives were different. They had a gift, an ability to hunt and destroy supernatural creatures that hurt humans. They worked together for years, trusting each other completely. But everything changed the night they met Katherine. Katherine, an evil vampire. Dean met her first. It was in the woods during a hunt. She stepped out from the shadows like a dream, her long black hair flowing, her pale skin glowing under the moonlight. Katherine was beautiful, almost too perfect. Dean felt drawn to her like nothing he'd ever felt before. He wasn't sure if it was love or something else, but he couldn't get her out of his head. At the same time, Sam met her in a club. The place was packed, but when Katherine walked through the crowd, it was like she was the only one there. Their eyes met, and Sam was hooked. She was everything he'd been missing. Their conversations were deep, personal, and made Sam feel alive in a way he hadn't for a long time. Neither brother knew that the other had met Katherine. She made sure of that. Katherine played her game carefully, making Dean and Sam fall for her, all while keeping them in the dark. Whenever they talked about their days, she was the one secret they both kept. Over the months, Dean and Sam started to drift apart. Their bond, once unbreakable, was now full of unspoken tension. They both sensed something was wrong, but neither could figure out why. Then one night, Katherine sent them both the same message: come meet her in the deep, dark forest. She had something important to say. Dean arrived first, his heart racing, unsure of what to expect. Moments later, Sam walked into the clearing, just as confused. They looked at each other, shocked, wondering what the other was doing there. Before they could speak, Katherine appeared, standing between them, her eyes glinting with malice. I've made my choice, she said in a voice that was both sweet and dangerous. I only want one of you. But to prove your love, one of you must die. The one who loves me more will stay by my side forever. The other will be sacrificed. Dean's heart sank. He couldn't believe it. Katherine, the woman he thought he loved, was about to kill him. His mind raced as she came closer, holding an old dagger, her eyes locked on his. But just as she raised the dagger to strike, Sam moved. In one swift motion, he plunged a wooden stake into Katherine's heart. She gasped, her eyes wide with shock as she stumbled, blood dripping from her lips. She fell into Dean's arms, trembling, her breath shallow. With tears in her eyes, she looked at Sam. I loved you, she whispered, her voice weak. It was always you. And with that, her body crumbled into dust in Dean's arms. Dean stood frozen, staring at the ashes that had once been Katherine. His chest ached, not just from the shock of what had happened, but from the betrayal. He had been in love with her, or at least, he thought he was. And now she was gone, leaving nothing behind but pain and confusion. Sam's voice broke the silence. She didn't love either of us, Dean. She was going to sacrifice one of us to gain power. She wanted to keep the other as her puppet. Dean clenched his fists, his jaw tight. I know. I started to figure it out, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to risk losing you. He looked at Sam, his eyes filled with both anger and sadness. I didn't tell you because I thought I could stop her on my own. Sam nodded, understanding. Same here. I kept quiet because I thought I could handle it. But I couldn't let her hurt you. The brothers stood in silence for a moment, the weight of what had happened pressing down on them. Katherine had used their love against them, twisting it into something dark and dangerous. But in the end, their bond was stronger than her lies. As they left the forest, the pain of betrayal lingered, but the bond between them was stronger than ever. They had survived something that could have destroyed them, and that made them realize just how much they still needed each other.
If you like this video, subscribe our channel.